The grill is shot. The chairs are held together by optimism. And what happened to the rug? Sounds like your outdoor setup is not ready for patio season. Fix it all with Wayfair. Shop Wayfair for grills, rugs, furniture, and more. With 20 million 5-star reviews, room of choice delivery, and expert setup on qualifying orders, it's never been easier to do more for less. Get 10% off your first eligible purchase. Hurry to wayfair.com or download the app now.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is back. The most competitive basketball league on earth is on CBS this Saturday. Big 3 All-Star Dwight Howard and the LA Riot take on Greg Monroe and the Dallas Power. Then Coach Rick Mahorn, Sensation Nazir Kaur, and the Detroit Amps look to protect home court against back-to-back MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champs Miami 305. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and catch replays on BET.
Oh, yay, yay!
Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Well, AJ Dabonsa is a wizard. He goes number 1. The Jazz grab Darryn Peterson at number 2 and leave Cameron Boozer for Memphis at number 3. Here's the reaction from the guys. The pick goes down. PK, Jake Scott, Tim Lacombe, Scotty G. Here they are as the Jazz learned that they are getting Darryn Peterson.
Jazz Draft Roundtable live from JCW's in South Jordan. Come on by and see us. Scott Gerard, Patrick Kinahan, the coach, Tim Lacombe, Jake Scott as the Jazz with the number 2 pick in the NBA draft. Take Darryn Peterson. We are hoping to have Darryn Peterson on the air sometime tonight, so stay tuned for that. We had Austin Ainge. We aired his availability live, which was certainly a nice thing to do. And we'll keep the picks coming. Currently on the clock still, the Atlanta Hawks. So, in fact, I don't know if they've already picked it or are about to pick. In fact, let's throw to it.
The 8th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Kingston Flemings from the University of Houston.
Again, chalk, Coach Lacombe. We're seeing all these guards come off the board just like we expected.
Yeah, we talked about it today. After the first 4, it was kind of going to be a race for point guards. And I was just curious the order. Tonight we saw it. Wagler went first. Brown, Acuff, and now Flemings. I would imagine if everything stays chalk that we're looking at Nate Ament next.
I'm surprised we haven't seen those clubs that have multiple picks move up a little bit. Somebody like Oklahoma City, maybe we'll actually start to see some trades for, I don't know, teams moving up for need.
Yeah, I expected there to be a lot of trades tonight, and I guess the one thing you never know is a pick's made and then you hear about it after. So, I mean, we got to hold tight on making sure that some of these are going to stay where they're at, but so far it looks like that's what it is.
Kingston Flemings is an interesting selection there for Atlanta. I think he has a chance to. Again, when you look at players that have an opportunity to come in and be good defensively, but also just crazy playmakers, Flemings really fits that mold, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, if you can play for Sampson, you can play for me. And I think this kid is. He was a guy that was brought up, I think, by Matt Babcock the other day when he had him on. I just said, who's a guy that you think will punch above his weight? And he said Flemings, for all the reasons that you would think playing for Sampson. You're going to be well-schooled. You're going to be put in pressure situations. And just like they did, you're going to play in huge games.
This is cashing in on that pick they got from New Orleans last year when the Pelicans traded
the Dumars.
The Dumars, the unprotected pick. So Atlanta lands a guard, and I honestly think I wonder Quinn Snyder needs to start making some waves. He's been in Atlanta for basically, 3.5 years now, going into his 4th year. I wonder when expectations will ramp up for him a little bit, but who knows? Maybe this is somebody, Scotty, that makes C.J. McCollum a little more expendable there in Atlanta. I'm not sure. I will tell you, I am happy that we're not talking about the Jazz drafting one of these point guards.
Well, I mean, honestly, you saw Sacramento picking at 7 and getting a good player at Acuff, but the Jazz were a coin toss away from being in that 7th pick.
Yep.
And it just shows you that finally the Jazz were due a little good luck, and the basketball gods kind of smiled upon them on that one because if that thing goes tails instead of heads or whatever it was, we're talking about the Jazz scrambling to try to find somebody at 7 and, who's a good fit. And now you're drafting for need instead of, best player available, blah, blah, blah. The fact that Darryn Peterson has fallen to the Jazz and Ace Bailey has fallen to the Jazz in back-to-back drafts. This team's ready to go. This team is not and PK, I'm kind of curious to know your thoughts. This is not a play-in team next year. This is this is a bona fide squarely in the playoffs, and that should be the expectation day one.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that, Scotty. We don't know what's going to come with other rosters. There's moves to be made coming up next month, so we'll have to see about that. But right now, if you want to go high, why not third? Why is that outrageous?
I don't think it is. Not in the West. Not right now.
We'll have to see what moves the Lakers make and what not. But, Denver seems to be on the decline. That's according to Jokic himself in his final comments. We know we've got the other two teams at the top there in OKC and San Antonio. We understand that. But who's ready to jump into that spot? If things come together, I'm not saying I wouldn't, to go Scotty, I wouldn't Sorsby it. But I would think that it's a possibility. And I would never say that, but I heard Scotty say it while I was eating my free hamburger.
Fill me in on that. I'm missing it. I'm just kidding. We all know what a Sorsby is.
If Scotty says it, we can all run with it. Is that,
right.
Is that the rule now?
We call him Kenny Rogers not because he can sing. No. It's because he's the gambler.
Who, me? No, I've never.
He flinched like he did when they said Anisette.
Yeah.
You're like, what? This is completely out of the blue.
I got to tell you, I would pay good money to see Scotty do the little karaoke.
We're going to get the karaoke machine on the old station barbecue.
Is that going to happen?
We're going to make that happen.
We gonna hear those pipes croon something?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Oh,
PK and I are working on Endless Love.
I figure about 1 a.m. the police will be called.
No, before that, when you start
in that neighborhood,
when you start singing at 8 o'clock, it'll sound like they got to put an animal down. We've all heard you sing.
Come on,
sorry, I digress.
I do love PK's greatest hits. That gets rolled out every now and again.
Love me do. I love Darryn Peterson.
I love the pick, guys. I'm telling you, I love the pick. Jake and I are going to get paid back for 4 years.
Oh, you guys deserve it. Yeah.
Like going into every game with that lineup, and you guys said it with Will Hardy being able to say, which one of these guys do we want to pick on tonight, and then just do it.
Let's go to the Mavericks pick.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Morez Johnson Jr. from the University of Michigan.
Still not a lot of surprises in the draft yet, Coach. Now we're getting to the point where maybe we'll see Mara possibly from Michigan. Maybe we'll see a team trade up to get that. But so far, very little movement in the draft tonight.
So how about that? You got the new coach of the Dallas Mavericks selecting one of his former guys.
Yeah, it feels like Rick Pitino when he took the Boston job.
And so they got a picture of Dusty May over there like, hey, you know what? I'm celebrating my player and also welcoming my player all at the same time. So double dipping.
You think that's going to work, Tim?
No. Those are always interesting. I have heard great things about Morris Johnson. I've heard he is actually a guy, that it will definitely outplay where he's picked. He was supposed to be about 13, so he did jump a few spots, but it's going to be unique because everybody else in that locker room doesn't have that same relationship. So you have to work hard to make sure we're all on the same page.
Pass the ball to Cooper.
Yes.
I mean, that's the easy.
Or let him pass it to you, yeah.
Just don't mess with Cooper, Morez.
What do you think of Dusty May, head coach?
Wow, what a meteoric rise. Is there ever in anything like this that you can think of? 4 years ago, down in no man's land, Florida, with Florida International, Final Four. And that was 4 years ago, right?
Less?
Yeah. And then Michigan sucked before he got there. And I realize the transfer portal has changed everything, but it's changed everything for everybody. Mm-hmm. And Michigan has the resources, but yet to get them where he got them and where he was in just a short time, now he's with the Mavericks. This guy is the classic strike while the iron's hot. And so far the resume, but is there a big track record of college guys succeeding? Pitino's a great college coach, but he sucked.
Terrible.
Not so much with the Knicks, but with the Celtics, to where he uttered the famous line, "McHale, Bird, Parrish, not walking through that door," that we repeat all the time. So anybody else jump at you guys?
The list is short. We talked about it on our show this week. Larry Brown, and it's a long time ago.
But Larry Brown was
Right.
was he a college coach? He was just a coach.
He was a college coach first, and then went up. Then the other ones on there were Billy Donovan and Brad Stevens.
Billy Donovan, yeah.
So it hasn't been done a bunch.
But has Donovan really had a lot of success?
No, he hasn't.
No.
But he was able to outrun the posse.
He did stay employed. You got me there. Yeah.
That's part of the gig, dude. You know,
I know.
outrun the posse.
Oh, yeah. I once had a coach tell me that Idaho State was a great job. You know the guy. I'll tell him off the air. And I said, what are you talking about? He says, that guy has been there for 8 years, and they never win and they never fire him. That's a great job.
It's true.
Yeah.
I guess it's all paradigm, baby.
Yeah.
Just pay me.
It was a guy at Utah.
Just get that money, and don't be in the sports headlines. Don't be in the news headlines, and you'll be all right.
I guess Dusty May is so young enough. If it doesn't work, and go back to college.
He could go 0-82 next year and get fired and have any job he wants.
Who was
in
the
college.
other the old guy from Michigan?
Oh, John Beilein.
Yeah, and Tark.
He made a beeline for out of the NBA in about a year.
That's very good. I like
that was
that.
a very bad hire.
Terrible.
Yeah. And the guy who thought that he was in line to get that job ahead of Beilein, you know who it was?
Yeah, I told you on the air about that. It was Alex.
Yeah, it was Alex.
Oh, yeah,
I had a long conversation with Alex about that very
because
thing.
he was the coach of the year in G League that year.
No, he was with the Jazz.
Oh, it was the Jazz. Okay.
And the GM wanted Alex, and he got overruled by the owner.
Mm-hmm.
You can think of who was the guy who took over for Phil Jackson with the Bulls. He was terrible. Tim Floyd. Even former Ute coach Larry Kraskowiak went from Montana and went and coached the Bucks, and that went so badly. I think it only lasted 1 year.
Remember Mike Montgomery from Stanford?
Oh, when he went to the Warriors?
Yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, that was mind-boggling when that came out. It's like, he's doing what?
Do you remember when Oh, no, he never did.
It's rumored that Beilein in that first meeting, he pulled out fiddlesticks, and he's like, gents, I want to teach you an old-time game. It's going to teach you patience and resilience.
We will pass the ball 4 times before anybody takes a shot.
By the way, the Milwaukee Bucks now on the clock for the 10th pick, so we'll see which way the Bucks go. So far, no big trades in this draft. Everything going somewhat according, especially the top. Obviously, A.J. DeBonsa going 1 to Washington, and Darryn Peterson going number 2 to the Utah Jazz. We're hoping to have a chance to talk to Darryn Peterson at some point tonight, get him on the phone for an interview. We already did hear from Austin Ainge. Also, Ben Anderson is on the ground for us in New York. Maybe we'll get a little bit of his availability back, and we'll get that on the air as well when it comes. But a banner day for the Utah Jazz, picking up a big-time player with the number 2 pick. And I do like it. I feel similarly to last year, Scotty G, but, for the Jazz not to be scared off by what Ace Bailey's camp was doing before the draft and just go ahead and pick their guy. I think you can say a little bit about the same here, with all the did he work out, did they meet, where did they meet, all this stuff. And the creatine cramps to not get distracted by, should I take Carlos Boozer's kid, or do we trade up to get the BYU guy, to just do the kind of, I think, bold thing, not to overuse the word, but stay in your pick and pick who you think the best player is.
Yeah, and look, there was a lot of people out there talking about, the Jazz might move up to 1. That was never a conversation.
No.
It never happened. I mean, maybe Washington called like, hey, would you be interested in hopping in? No, we'll get back to you on that. Click. That may be the gist of the conversation between those two. But honestly, I think the Jazz always had Darryn Peterson, number 1 on their board. I would have loved to be a fly on the wall and see who number 2 was, because it may not be A.J. DeBonsa. It could have been Cameron Boozer at number 2.
Sacrilege.
I know, right? I think the Jazz...
Those Aggies are just looking for any chance they can to poke the bear.
Jab.
That's why I don't like them.
Nobody does. It's us versus the world.
Who was the Aggie you guys were having a showdown about on the air for our college football roundtable? What was that all about? When things got heated between you two? Not that I want to bring up that back.
Between us?
Yeah. In the football roundtable, you don't remember that?
At the other JCWs.
The other JCWs. Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys are
legit
getting after
heated
it.
or like PK dick heated?
It was about the Aggie quarterback?
Oh, he's slamming BYU, and I had to defend him.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
Sure, that's what it was.
It was. I remember it now. I don't remember the specifics, but I remember, and he was bigger then, so I was a little more nervous.
It certainly made me uncomfortable listening to it. I'll tell you.
I don't know if I can yank you out of the HR room anymore.
I know. I was glad you were fat then. Save my gig.
All right, we have the pick for Milwaukee. They've selected Braden Burries out of Arizona. And Coach, there's a guy I know you were thinking highly
Solid.
of.
Love him. Love him.
Solid, Hunt. That's not a glowing. Is that just because he's a Wildcat or no?
I think he's solid. I mean, you got to remember where you're drafting the kid.
Yeah,
it's a little later. I don't foresee stardom, but watching him play a number of times, I'm thinking like this sounds negative, but I don't mean it. Like a poor man's Drew Holiday, maybe a little less than Drew Holiday, but solid. And I think the world of Drew Holiday.
Do you think if this was last year's draft, Braden Burries would be top 5, top 6?
Last year's draft, huh?
I think he would.
I have to go back and review all of last year's picks. I don't know, because last year's draft was pretty good, man. The top 5, Flag, right. Harper, Edgecombe, Knippel, Ace. So
that's why I said 5 or 6. Yeah,
not 5.
No.
Hey, I want another argument between you two.
I know. I think we should light that fire.
I don't even remember this.
I'm surprised. It was heated.
I'll tell you why I like Burries. He scores so easy, and I look for guys with the it factor. Like in the drafts we've done together, Jake and I, like a guy that stood out to me. He's on the market right now, Trey Murphy III, who I just absolutely love his game. Okay. But I just look for it, And this kid, to me, I watched him play a couple times. Big moments. He just seems to have it.
Well, and PK is going to roast me this because I'm bringing up Utah State, but the Aggies were in that game against Arizona, and Burries was the one that put his foot down and said, "No, we're done here."
That big.
Well, I mean, if they didn't get a 9 seed, they would have gone to the Final Four.
Obviously,
I never said that.
Somebody else applied
I think a head coach
he's in
said that.
Ohio.
Yeah.
As if he got a 7 seed, he would have signed a long-term contract.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, they gave me a 9 seed, so I have to leave.
Hey, what day is it? Okay, I still got to be Utah State. Okay.
All right, there's the reaction. Darryn Peterson joins the guys. Next, stay with us.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is back. The most competitive basketball league on earth is on CBS this Saturday. Big 3 All-Star Dwight Howard and the LA Riot take on Greg Monroe and the Dallas Power. Then Coach Rick Mahorn, Sensation Nazir Kaur, and the Detroit Amps look to protect home court against back-to-back MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champs Miami 305. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and catch replays on BET. Oh, yay!
Good morning, DJ and PK. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Darryn Peterson, the number 2 pick in the NBA draft, joining Jake Scott, Tim Lacombe, Patrick Kinahan, and Scotty G after he was drafted.
Let's get out to the zone phone. Joining us now, the newest member of the Utah Jazz, the number 2 pick in the 2026 NBA draft, Darryn Peterson, with us here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Darryn, congratulations. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
When you met with the Jazz in your hometown, what were those conversations like, and what were your impressions of that front office that made the trip out there to talk to you?
Yeah, it was a great conversation. They were just showing me the stuff that they have in store in the future and how I could fit in with the team, and it went well. And I'm looking forward to it. And you said, ask me the second part again one more time. I'm sorry.
No, that was exactly what I wanted to hear, because I know the Jazz really wanted to get some FaceTime with you, and I guess that gives you a lot of comfort level knowing that you had a chance to chat with them.
For sure, yeah, it was huge that they came out and saw me, and I respected that a lot, and it's good to spend some more time with those guys outside of Chicago.
So you didn't go number 1, Darryn. How much will you use that as motivation to show that you should have been number 1, and you will prove that at the NBA level in the coming months and years?
Yeah, I'm super motivated by it, but it's behind me now. I can't go back and change anything, but now I'm with the Jazz, and I'm super excited to get there, and it'll definitely keep a chip on my shoulder throughout my whole career, and I'll take it out on everybody, not just that guy in particular.
Darryn, you know through the process, we love that here. You keep singing that music, and you'll have a bunch of fans, even more fans. Hey, but the question I have for you is, how hard was the process? You're not a you've said it. You're kind of a guy that likes to be alone and, not being in the fanfare. How hard was this process going through it with everything that it requires?
Yeah, it wasn't hard at all. And I kind of used the wrong words when I said I like to be alone. Just during that process, I was spending some time alone because I feel like I had to go within and try to figure out what was going on. And once I did, now I'm back to me, a family guy, a guy that loves to be around people. I got 3 siblings, so I'm the oldest and all that. So I think I'm a cool guy. So I'm ready to go be that guy, be the face of a franchise.
I'm not sure how familiar you are with all of the Jazz roster, but know you're familiar a little bit with Keontae George, and you talked to the front office. How do you think your game fits on this team?
I think, like you said, with Keontae, we're 2 dynamic guards, and I think we'll be one of the best backcourts in the NBA early. And then we have Lowry and Jaren Jackson and Walker, and I know Bryce Hensenberg went to Ohio State, Ace Bailey. So I know a lot of the guys, and I think we'll all complement each other's games well.
Your plans are to go to Summer League next week here in Salt Lake City, correct?
Yep, for sure.
Darryn, most guys who are drafted second are going into a losing situation, a team that's rebuilding. This team has reloaded and is ready to win, and you're going to have to find a spot on this team. Nothing is going to be guaranteed. How much does that mean to you to go to a winning team and then try to find your way to make playing time?
It means a lot. I want to go to a team where I can win now, and I think Utah gives me an opportunity to do that. So I'm prepared to go in there, and like you said, my spot isn't going to be given to me, and nothing's been given to me throughout my whole life. So I'm prepared to go in there and do what I got to do to be on the court.
Darryn, your experience at Kansas, just there a few months and a lot of ups and downs, but generally just kind of your experience there and what you learned from it.
I had a great experience, obviously the ups and downs, but that's a part of the game. And I enjoyed every part of being in Kansas, and I'd pick there 1,000 more times if I could go back. But it's behind me, and I'm feeling great.
Well, Darryn, this is a huge night for you, so we can't thank you enough for giving us a few minutes to come on and introduce Salt Lake City to you a little bit. We can't wait to see you when you get to town.
For sure. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Darryn. We appreciate it. There you go.
Oh, he connected with PK.
Darryn Peterson.
He got the head nod.
PK couldn't have scripted a better answer than that.
Not going number 1 will provide a chip on his shoulder throughout his career, not just against one guy, I wonder who that guy is, but the whole league. I'm ordering my 22 Jazz jersey tonight.
There you go. How do you get PK's buy-in? Bitterness.
Angry and bitterness.
So it's so funny. It's so funny because all that stuff came out last week, and I must have got 10 to 15 texts from people saying, can we really take a guy with an attitude like that, right? No. And all we're doing is just reading what other people say about these guys. 2 years in a row now where that interview, that guy, I'm telling you, it sounds ready to go, sounds excited to be here. And we just have to remember this is a process. Scotty and I all week, for a couple weeks, don't take it personally. But, man, he said it, to be able to come to a team that's pretty much formed now and he can come find his way without all the pressure of having to be the guy from day one. Pretty awesome.
I liked him clearing up, too, Coach. You asked him about how he's a little bit of an introvert maybe. And I like how he cleared it up and said, hey, I didn't communicate that well. That's not really what I'm about. And he said, he's about family and relationships and those sorts of things. I like that he's going to be a little vocal and give a little pushback on that narrative and we all know this being in the media. I mean, sometimes these narratives come out of nowhere and sometimes they're just people making assumptions. So good for him. Give a little pushback. Say, no, that's not really what I'm all about.
He said, I'm a fun guy. I like to have fun, family, and I don't know. We have fun and family out here. Guys, it's the summer of us.
And I'll take it out on everybody, not just that guy in particular.
Oh, there you go.
You had me at hello.
Come here, big guy.
Yeah.
That's PK's
Brothers
guy.
Don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
Oh, man. You got 2 dudes connecting with the ultimate chips on their shoulder. It was awesome.
By the way, shout out to Derek and the communication staff there for the Jazz for getting Darryn Peterson on the phone with us. Pretty cool.
Good job, Derek.
That we get a chance to talk to him. Not even an hour after the Jazz drafted him. So shout out to the Jazz communications team for that. Appreciate it.
I love the conversation about, look, you are in a golden situation. You may not have gone 1, and you won't have that title you get to have next to your name, but you're also not stuck in the Siberia of the NBA when it comes to winning and a stable organization. AJ is going to deal with that, and he'll get stuck out there, and he'll immediately have to be the face of that franchise. He'll immediately their wins and losses are going to be judged on him, and that's a tough thing to handle with a team that has a dysfunctional organization as much as they are. Here, you got Darryn Peterson, elite level talent, and he gets to come into an organization that's ready to win right now, that's got good pieces in place. He'll have a rim protector behind him so he can be uber aggressive defensively on the perimeter, and he can come in, make shots. He'll have a elite point guard, a young up-and-coming point guard right next to him, and this is going to be really, really fun to watch. And by the way, Oklahoma City just may have made a pick, a reactionary pick. A Wimby counter. As Mara.
Taking a day of Mara, and we did miss at 11. Yaxa Lindenborg goes to the Golden State Warriors. So right now the Miami Heat, which I believe this pick goes to Milwaukee, right? And number 13, they're going to be on the clock. But yeah, I think OKC took Mara at 12 as a reaction to Wemby. But we talked about this earlier, I think they're going to lose Hartenstein.
Wow.
I do too.
So this might be a pick to pick his replacement at center, which might be a wise pick, and they didn't even have to trade up to do it. They got him at 12, which is a little bit of a surprise.
Right. I mean, a lot of people thought they'd couple picks and get, but must have got intel he'd be around, and that was the guy they were in on.
What's that, Christian? You want to throw? All right, we're going to have a chance to hear from AJ Bonson in a second.
Sorry about that. One thing Darren said was that I think registered. I was actually looking it up. I mean, you get him going with Keontae George, the Keontae George we saw last year, who made a major jump. And you are talking about a top 10 backcourt in the league pretty early. I mean, you start thinking about it, the way the teams have lost pieces. And, I think you're looking at a team that could have the possibility if this kid could live up to the billing. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And then to have the front court that you've got and the rim protection and the shooting, man, this is an incredible job of a rebuild, my friends.
Took a bit, but we're here.
Yeah,
suddenly it seems worth it.
It does. And, it was one of those situations where, it's like that Adam Sandler movie when you want to hit the remote and just fast forward to the good stuff, the fun stuff. Well, that's Jazz fans. You had to endure it. You had to deal with it, but now it's here. And I can't imagine what that place is going to be like on opening night because the expectations are going to be very, very high with that squad.
Jake and I needed that remote. Yeah, right. We could have used it a couple nights.
We certainly could have. Thinks that, just to take off on what you guys are talking about, thinks that he and Keontae George can be one of the best backcourts in the league pretty quick. And honestly, Ace Bailey might have something to say about that. I think the internal competition is actually going to be something that's healthy and good for all those players. I mean, Keontae took a huge step last year, but he still needs somebody to push him a little bit. And doing it against on a team that's not trying to win, it has a little fake to it. So come in, and now you're going to have to earn your spot.
100%, yeah. I mean, competition, it's what it's about. We coaches say that all the time.
And Will Hardy's specifically about it because, he's going to go to Ace Bailey and say, hey, look, you know what? Had we not drafted this guy or, Boozer was the only one available, you would have been starting. But now, Darryn Peterson is going to battle you for that. And so that's for Ace. And then you got Darryn Peterson saying, I can play a 1 too. And so you go to Keontae like, hey, you better, that jump you made from year 2 to year 3, you better be ready to make another jump from year 3 to year 4 if you want it, especially with that max contract coming your way. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot on the line here for a lot of these players, and it's a wake-up call because not only did you get better, but you got guys that can play a lot of different positions.
Oh, that's the best part. But that's what the general theme of the roster is as I look at it. I mean, if you want to go big, you can go big. You want to go small, you can go small. You're always going to have an advantage out there with your height to be able to play through guys. But, the guys on the contracts for next year as of right now, Markkanen and Jackson, Bailey, Conchar, Williams, George, Mihailuk, Filipowski, Sensabaugh, Collier, and Darryn Peterson. Pretty good.
One of those is not like the other. Yeah.
Man, Spee's going to have to beat out a lot of guys to start this year.
Hey, but he's got you got to remember how well
last year.
He just smoked everything.
He did.
He was so good last year. And that's a guy, again, you want his situational guy? Got that too.
I mean, look, like I said, Will Hardy may be a good NBA player. Imagine what he can do with Darryn Peterson.
By the way, did we miss that? We didn't talk about that when we were listening to Austin Ainge. Did he say that Will was not there because he's at a wedding?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a bad timed wedding.
Don't tell me about it. 3 years ago, I had to go to a reception on draft night.
Yeah, sorry about that.
He and Ryan both had weddings that night.
Yeah, wonder if it was the same wedding.
No, I do know that Ryan's was family.
Oh, okay.
And Will traveled, so.
Well, there you go.
Will travel. I will say that Austin Ainge traveled to Canton, Ohio to meet with Darryn Peterson. Yeah, he'll be traveling again in about 20 years to Springfield, Massachusetts with Darryn Peterson.
Well, they'll both get a plaque.
Yeah.
PK with these predictions.
Man,
the last 22.
It's easy to throw 20 years down the road when you're,
dead.
Sundowning. And you don't have to be accountable to it. We'll put it on your...
Sundowning? Come on, what are we talking about here?
I mean, he's on the end. He's on the end of his rope.
I'll have a medicinal card. I'll be fine.
All right, coming up next, Austin Ainge reacts to the draft pick, and the guys react to Austin Ainge. Stay with us.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is back. The most competitive basketball league on earth is on CBS this Saturday. Big 3 All-Star Dwight Howard and the LA Riot take on Greg Monroe and the Dallas Power. Then Coach Rick Mahorn, Sensation Nazir Kaur, and the Detroit Amps look to protect home court against back-to-back MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champs Miami 305. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and catch replays on BET.
Oh, yay, yay!
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Austin Ainge uses the number 2 pick in the draft on Darryn Peterson out of Kansas. All right, what did Austin think? Why did he do it? He met with the media, and the guys react. Scotty G, Tim Lacombe, Jake Scott, PK, here they are on the Zone.
Austin Ainge, his media availability is going on. Let's throw it down to that.
A huge part of us in the short term and the long term. We're really excited to add him. Had a chance to talk to him a minute ago, and he's super pumped. And Coach talked to him, and we're really excited.
Also, on lottery night, were you thinking, I hope Darren's there at number 2?
I don't want to do that because it kind of affects everyone else. I'll just say that there's a lot of good players in this draft, and it was a hard decision, but we're so thrilled to have Darryn, and he definitely fits us super well, and he fits it pretty much everywhere. He's a really good player, but I think particularly our roster, it really goes well.
What do you think?
Before you talked to him tonight, when was the last time you talked to him?
We went out and met with him last week, and we went to his hometown. We went to Canton and hung out with him, and talked about our team and our program and how he would fit. And he shared how excited he would be to be with us if it went that way on draft night. He even was nice enough to stop in the middle of he's getting a bunch of new ink on his arm. You guys will see. He's a big movie guy, so he's got a lot of movie characters on his arm now. He was showing us that, so that was kind of a fun little meeting with him, and we talked about his family and what we would do if he ends up with us, and we all left very excited about the possibility.
You talk about fit. What do you think he adds to this roster that maybe was missing before?
He's just a really talented player, and the thing that we like most about him is for a 19-year-old, he feels very complete. He can drive left, he can drive right, he can shoot off the catch, he can shoot off the dribble, he can guard, he can play pick and roll, he can play off the ball. It feels like he can help all of our other talented players in a lot of different ways.
A lot of questions are just about his health, kind of in the lead-up of the draft. Obviously, cramping issues, the lingering hamstring injury. Where do you guys feel like he's at in terms of just the health process and your evaluation of that?
He's been working out twice a day. every day, and he feels great. And when he did show me his tattoo, he looks stronger already. He's been working pretty hard. Our doctors went through everything from the combine and all the tests that were ordered, and we feel very comfortable, and he's ready to hit the ground running. And we plan on seeing him in Summer League.
Are there any health issues that haven't kind of come to light yet that we need to know about him?
Nope.
Last year you had 5-21. This year just number 2, so you probably dove extra deep on way less guys this year around. Was there anything that maybe surprised you with Darryn in the whole process?
I would just say that when you can go as deep as we did in this process, you get limited amount of interaction with the player himself, and that's the case with all these guys and all the draft ranges. But you get a sense for what their coaches think about them, and it was great. I mean, Darryn got rave reviews from all of them. They speak a lot about his family and how solid and normal feels almost like an insult, but it's a positive thing in the sense they just say he's just a really well-raised, really respectful, hardworking young man. And one thing that showed up a lot was just his work ethic and his confidence, his kind of quiet confidence, not scared of the moment, even though he's a quieter person.
What were the conversations like with Will in terms of how Darryn can fit into the team's style of play? Yeah, I mean, I think Will has been really excited about this. He's because Darryn fits all the plays in the playbook, right? He like I said, he is a well-rounded player, and there really isn't anything that he can't do. Obviously, he's 19 and he's got a lot of work to do, and we're going to try to help him get as ready to win ball games as we can by opening night. But he doesn't have a glaring weakness. He just needs to keep getting better at everything.
What are the thoughts or feelings about him playing, whether it's the 1 or 2 or a combo guard, et cetera? Yeah, I mean, I think the playoffs and most games show us you need lots of guys that can attack and handle, and I think that position is probably better defined now by defense than offense. We talk about LeBron, Luka. What are they? They're point guards on offense and 3s or 4s or 2s on defense, and it doesn't really matter what you call Darryn. He's going to run a lot of pick and roll. He's going to come off screens. He's going to come off handoffs, just like a lot of our other players in our offense. So he can do everything, and we'll just see how it expands and how it fits within the group and the best way to use him early. And maybe 3 years from now, there's even more ways. And but we're really excited to throw him in all these situations. Do you remember the first time you saw Darryn play?
I don't. It all kind of blends together. I mean, I'm trying to picture, we were rewatching film last week, and I knew I was going crazy when I could predict what was going to happen in each possession. And it was just I'm so tired of watching all of this, So, but I mean, I've seen plenty of high school games, plenty of high school all-star games. I don't remember the first one, to be honest with you.
Walk me through the Canton trip. Why was it so important for you guys to kind of get that FaceTime with them, and what was it like just being there with him in his own time? We felt really comfortable with him in the combine, and we had been in great communication with his group and talking about everything. We just wanted to be a little extra sure, right? And we have the time. With only the number 2 pick, we were not doing tons of draft workouts, and so let's just go out and see him and see where he's from, get to know him even better, and just make sure that if we ended up with him on draft night, that we have the best plan from day one.
So who's we that went to see him?
Myself, Avery Bradley, Danny Ainge, and Justin Zanuck. Ryan and Will were both in weddings and couldn't make it, but we went, and they called them, and like I said, we've been in contact throughout. And Ryan and Will were both at the combine and talked to him there. So we've all had a chance to talk to him.
Obviously, in some years, it's pretty clear who the number 1 guy is or the number 1 and 2 guys, but there was really good talent in this draft. When did you really decide on your board and come to a conclusion where you knew who you wanted to take as number 2 pick?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, right? Like, it's a group and it's a team. This is all a team effort. And but I would say a few days ago is when I kind of locked in and sat down with Ryan and said, hey, let's do this. And he was all on board and excited with what we ended up with.
I'm just curious if you could describe the feeling in the room, because just the energy you're giving off right now, like I can tell you're pumped, you're excited. Just what was it like to submit Darryn as that number 2 pick and then know that it's happening?
It was great, and we're so excited about Darryn. It's just a culmination of a lot of patience and a lot of building, right? And we're just really grateful for our fans and the fact that they've stuck with us through this rebuild, and we're really excited that on top of Darryn, we feel like we've got a bunch of other talented players and that we can make big steps this year. So it's Darryn, and then it's all of that all together.
You said that it was a hard decision. You also said you feel like Darryn is just a very complete player.
Yeah.
What was, in your mind, kind of the deciding factor on choosing him in such a talented draft?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. The draft is hard. There's, as a league, right, we don't always get it right. But Darryn felt like such a great fit. Like I said, culture, talent, position, ability, who he is and what he cares about. It feels like it really fits our team.
You mentioned that on the Canton trip that you told Darryn what you wanted to do with him and like let him know what the plan was, and I'm kind of wondering what it was that you told him. Like, what is it that you want to do with him?
We talked about our roster. We talked about our system. We asked him, how much he knew about our players and Utah and our history. And we showed him about how amazing the Jazz fans are, how many sellouts in a row we've had, how they support us through thick and thin. We talked about the way we play basketball, how we are a ball movement, body movement offense, and he loved the sound of that, and he liked to hear that we're going to go all in trying to win next year, as many games as we can, and that we think we really have the talent to both help him and that he can help.
You kind of already hit on it, but you've made moves. You got Jaren Jackson Jr. before the trade deadline. You have a lot of experienced players, some guys that have been all-stars, but you also have a young core. Where do you feel like he fits into that, and how beneficial do you think it will be for his future to kind of play alongside some players that have been all-stars and have that experience? Yeah,
that'll be fun to watch. But Darryn is like I said, a very complete player for his age, and so I think he will fit seamlessly in with our group. But it's always a big transition for 19-year-olds. So we'll do everything we can this summer to get him and Ace and Keontae and Lowry and Jaren and Walker and Bryce, Svi and Cody, everybody on the same page and get as much chemistry and work and get ready.
All right, there you go. That is Austin Ainge, President of Basketball Operations for the Utah Jazz. We are live here at JCW's. Of course, Austin Ainge reacting to the Jazz selecting Darryn Peterson with the number 2 pick in the NBA draft. Joining us now, by the way, just catching you up on what's going on with the draft. The Sacramento Kings now are on the clock with about 3 minutes to go. Brooklyn, the Nets just picked Mikel Brown Jr. Out of Louisville. Patrick Kinahan jumps on with us now. PK, we talked about it. It seems like we've talked about it forever. It finally happened, and Darryn Peterson's the newest member of the Utah Jazz.
Sit back, boys. I need 15 minutes starting right now.
Our guy's windy. He's ready to go.
He's feeling windy.
Oh, I got underwear older than that kid. What? No, he's gonna. Somebody texted me. He's gonna have Filipowski's number. They're gonna make him give it to him.
If he wants it. Then.
What's that number? Do you guys know it?
Off the top of my head, no.
I can't remember Flip's number.
Well, whatever it is.
22.
22 is right.
Yes.
Yeah. From now on, I'm telling you, he'll be the last guy to wear number 22 for the Utah Jazz.
Wow,
Yes.
look at that.
Let's get that straight.
And that's the guy who said, "Oh, I've seen it all" at Kevin Durant's summer league.
This guy is so skilled. He's so smooth. This is smooth jazz. He is the most skilled player they have drafted, and I can't remember when. And I don't know.
Maybe ever.
Yeah. He
might be Griffith, dude. Seriously.
And maybe you're
he was
going
as
back.
smooth as it could be.
Whatever you need him to do, I really believe he can do it. And I trust Austin Ainge. You weren't coaching at BYU back then, but I was the beat writer then. I got to know him pretty well. His basketball instincts are off the charts. I know they did all their homework to figure it out. They believe all that stuff, as I tweeted out, creatine be damned. This is their kid. This is their guy, right? And now he wanted to go number one, and he didn't. Make up for it. You have an opportunity to come in with a really good team that is ready to win, and you can make a major contribution this very season. And I'm expecting big things from him this season, and I'm expecting huge things from him in 2 to 3 to 4 years as he continues to progress. I'm super high on this pick.
What do you look at in terms of what the Jazz are going to expect out of him in year number one? In terms of, do you think he starts?
I don't know. He's going to have to earn his way.
Yeah.
Will Hardy now has so many tools that he has never had at his disposal, right? So it's going to be fascinating, don't you guys think, to see how all this puzzle is going to come together? Because they can do a lot of different things. And I've been around Kevin Young now for a little bit. I know you've been around for him longer, Tim. And he was on Jim Rome, old DJ's college buddy. Yeah. He and we did Jim Rome a couple times. That he says, I really value skill and shot making. And this kid has it. Now, too, he pushes Ace Bailey.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
And, okay, Ace, you're not a rookie anymore, but you want your spot. Now you got competition. Keontae George, he scored a bunch of points and games didn't matter. Every game's going to matter this coming season. You want your spot. You want your second contract, and you had a phenomenal, third season? And what are you going to do going into it next year? So now you got guys on the perimeter now who are going to be fighting for playing time, and I think that's a good thing. And then you got your established guys, the veteran guys in the front court. So I really like the balance that they have. And where do we go from here? It's an exciting reason as to why I'm going to be on this station for another few more years. There's two reasons. Because I'm fired up for what the Jazz have, and my wife won't let me retire. So we got that combination, and here we go. I mean, we've been dogging it. We've been through the dog years. The dog years are over. I want to be a part of this ride going forward because, man, I think this team's got a ton of talent right now for next season. Tim talked about it earlier, and I agree with you, and I agree with you even more now that they drafted Darryn Peterson.
Let's get to the Kings pick real quick.
7th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Darius Acuff Jr. from the University.
He's going to be a problem. I love that guy.
Everything has gone chalk so far. Everything has basically been expected, except for he's going to disappear in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Will the Kings ever get it together? This feels like they've just drafted another De'Aaron Fox or Tyrese Halliburton, so even if he does become good, expect them to trade him.
Yeah, and then he'll blow up.
The minute he blows up, he'll blow up. Yeah, so I don't know.
You're exactly right on chalk. Like, I've got the consensus. I pulled up a consensus mock today that takes everything into account, and we are 7 for 7 on that consensus.
You guys had Wagner going that early?
Yeah, this mock did that I looked at. I actually wondered if he would go maybe 6, but yeah, he jumped a spot.
He went 5 to the Clippers, by the way, if people just tuning in. The top 4 win as expected. Washington with A.J. DeBonsa, the Jazz with Darryn Peterson, Cam Boozer at number 3 to Memphis, Caleb Wilson 4 to Chicago, Keaton Wagler 5 to the Clippers, Mikal Brown goes 6 to Brooklyn, and Darius Acuff just now off the board 7 to Sacramento.
I think you go back to the Jazz and what they look like next year. Will Hardy hasn't been given the best of circumstances as the head coach of the Jazz, but you look at the development that Keontae George has made, that Filipowski's made, that even, you go down the list, a lot of these guys have really flourished with Will Hardy. Now, with Will Hardy having a guy like, Darryn Peterson.
Exactly.
And so crazy? It's like, holy smokes, I've been, no offense to some of these guys, but he's been making chicken salad out of chicken, what. Now he's going to start with chicken salad, and what's he going to make out of it? He's going to have filet mignon before it's all said and done. So it's amazing to think Will Hardy has been really good, developing some really good young players. Now he gets one of the most athletic players that we've seen in the draft in many, many years, and what he gets to do to work with that, watch out.
Well, and he actually gets to play them, huh, Coach?
Exactly.
Yeah, they get to actually play to win.
Yeah, and the other thing, Jake and I have sat and watched it, the ability for every little blurb, every iteration of the Jazz that were the last 4 years, and we've seen a lot of dudes roll through town. He made, each little group of that is memorable. You gave a game where they went and won a game they shouldn't. Even through it all, he just kept his head up. So I of all the people I'm happy for, it's Will, because he has absolutely, Austin hit it. Like anybody that can shoot and move around and you can use as he's going to be bigger than most his counterparts, that are trying to guard him. So he's going to have a real advantage, a guy you can play through.
All right, we'll have more on the rest of the draft coming up. Stay with us. What is trending is next.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3CGM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms or readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is back. The most competitive basketball league on earth is on CBS this Saturday. Big 3 All-Star Dwight Howard and the LA Riot take on Greg Monroe and the Dallas Power. Then Coach Rick Mahorn, Sensation Nazir Kaur, and the Detroit Amps look to protect home court against back-to-back MVP Michael Beasley and the defending champs Miami 305. The game played the way you love. Watch live Saturday on CBS at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and catch replays on BET.
Oh, yay, yay!